What's up, guys? So this is going to be a deck profile. First of all, happy holidays. I know that this channel is primarily matches and just play testing, but I'm going to break the I guess the trend a little bit with the deck profile with Hercule. So I think that okay. For first of all, Hercule got me first place at Hidden Fortress, and I just wanted to share this deck profile because I was very proud of it, and I was very surprised that it did very well. So it's a very underlooked red leader, for sure. To start us off, let's just explain what it does. So he doesn't draw on the by attacking. The way he draws is activate battle when this card is in battle. So if it gets attacked or it attacks, you can combo when there's a card in your combo area. You draw a card, and then you negate the skill for the battle. And then when you have 4 less life, you can draw 3 cards to awaken him. On the backside, he does the same thing, except when he attacks, he draws a card. So he has that ability. So the reason why I chose this leader, and I thought I saw potential with him as a red leader, is that he's kind of like a anti-wide leader. So what I'm saying is like if someone tries to go wide on you with several battle cards, which is really popular in today's format, with such things as Piccolo, the Infiltrator, that allows you to have dual attack, Vegeta, the Rushing Warrior attack Vegeta. All those things kind of have a pseudo dual attack mechanic, and Piccolo the Infiltrator has a dual attack. And with the prevalence of like several other wide decks, I can't think of any decks that can go wide, but if your opponent does decide to go wide, he's kind of like imagine like any sort of karate kung fu movie, and there's this one guy versus like 10 guys, and he's like taking them all out. He's kind of on par with that. And then when you try to face something that's really powerful and really strong, he kind of struggles with that because you can only replace the card you draw once per turn. So that's the idea. So the weakness of this deck is when it goes tall, and the strength of this deck is that if you try to go wide on him, then he can just par them up. This leader is really good at protecting your hand size. So oftentimes you're not going to be negating attacks. You're going to actually let the attack go to the combo step. So that's what he does better than any other leader. So enough about that. He's a red leader. I'll leave my Z deck later. To start us off, we have two Cooler's Tyrannical Blow, or Tyrannical Assault. Really good against yellow, especially Trunks Cheetah, because it can ignore barrier and kill the little guys before they can develop their big guy. So in case they get greedy, you can actually neg those 2 guys off the board before it even comes on board. I would bump it up probably to 3 because he's really good against yellow, just because they have a lot of barrier, and especially Trunks Cheetah. So you can actually, in one game, I actually used this, both of them. I had both of them in my opening, or one of my hands, and I negged 2 Trunks with the barrier, and they basically got cleared off the board. And this guy mills a card. One of my games, I actually milled an SCR, so he does have utility in the sense that randomly you can hit an SCR. Next card is Hercule and Majibu, very on par with the theme, with the leader. It's a red. It's a rival with the multicolor. It's the same with Cooler. If you have a multicolor red and blue card, you could, or you don't have to have a multicolor. You can have one red, one blue, but typically this deck can red and blue is a very developed color archetype. So this card, when it comes into play, you index something by 10, and then you draw a card. He replaces itself, and it's a 19k, and it's only 1 energy, so really good, really strong. Um, I have a Checkland, which is the Mecha Frieza Energy Blight, really good card. It's good because it's searchable with the new card that came out, the anniversary card, or anniversary set called Chilled. So Chilled, when he comes into play, you get to look at the top 5 cards for Frieza's clan. So he's a Frieza's clan that's searchable, and yeah, so it's basically a check land, and he searches that. His other ability lets you neg something by 15k ignoring barrier. So there's a lot of ignoring barrier thing. It's just that this guy's a little bit more expensive. The cool thing about this guy, he's a dual attack, and he's also a blocker. On top of that, he's a 20k. So it's a very good card for 2 energy, I think so. It does a lot, and he's basically my defensive, also offensive power card. That's why there's 4 of them. His other ability lets you, if you have a multicolor in your energy, he becomes a 5k for free. So normally he would have to pay the 1 energy, but with him you can actually just make this go to 0. So now you have something you can put in your combo area, so that you can rival these 5 cards. Okay. I also play Beerus Divine Obliterator. I think it's a staple super combo. With Hercule, you can actually make this card into a draw 1 and untap 1. So there's no super combo that does that, where you can combo it from your hand, untap an energy, and then draw a card to replace it. So Hercule can really abuse this fact that you can make this into a really good super combo. Same with Launch. Actually, hot take, I think Hercule's a lot better than Launch, mostly because with Launch, you have to go power down, and then when you combo again, then you get to draw a card. But with Hercule, you can stay at 10k, and every time he battles, which means if you're going against a wide board, like I mentioned earlier, that allows him to basically parry the wide boards and then replace cards from your hand. So every card turns into a super combo with this guy, in a sense that you can replace the card that you draw, which is why I think that he can protect your hand really well. Next up, I play Force Senzu Bean. You must have this card in this deck because on the backside he's only a 10k. So with Senzu Bean, you can actually make him a 15k and make him seem like a regular leader. And then every time they try to go after you with a 15k, every time you combo, it replaces it. You do need negations in this deck, and obviously I'm going to play the Testing the Opposition because it's a free negation, and it stops any like quad strikes, triple strikes in their tracks, and then you have a blocker at the end. On top of that, sometimes I even combo with the token when they stop attacking afterwards, so it's not bad. Another card I play is Final Guardian. This card can be comboed well with another Frieza's Clan card in my deck, and I love this card in every red deck. Red and blue deck is Frieza Friendly Rival. What he does is when he's comboed, you get to dump a red extra card from your deck, and when you do that, you get to replace this card with the Hercule's ability. So after you dump, you put this in your Z, and then you dump Final Guardian. And Final Guardian is a card that lets you negate from your drop area, so you don't actually have to draw it. You can actually just pretty much tutor your negation. That's a way of doing it. Another little cool combo I like to dump with this guy is these 2 cards. So Phantom, let's just talk about Explosive Demon Wave. Explosive Demon Wave is mainly for blue decks, especially when you have like a really good board and they try to go all in on their turn, and they save like the Hatchiyak on their turn. Explosive Demon Wave will just counter that, negate it, and then allow you to pretty much secure the victory after a Hatchiyak, or before a Hatchiyak comes down. And that's all it does. The other ability is for Invoker, mostly, where you send him to the warp and then you check the top if it's a multicolor extra card and you add it to your hand. So I send these to the drop area because I play the Rival Seeker. So Rival Seeker is like a 10k. So this basically makes it so they have 8 super combos in your deck. Because when you combo with this guy, you actually draw a card, and then he's also a 10k that's free. It's free because his ability reduces the combo cost of this to 0. So when you reduce the combo cost of this to 0, he's a free 10k combo card. So that's basically, I guess, 8 super combos, right? But only once per battle. So try to use it only once per battle. The other extra card I play is Phantom Fist. It's mainly used in Invoker to play defense afterwards. This card reads if you have 4 or more energy, you can actually activate this card for free, ignoring the cost. But you have to discard a red card from your hand, and then on your opponent's next main phase, you untap an energy and you neg something by 15k, battle card by 15k. So really good for defense. I splashed it in, and it turned out pretty good. Allows you to have more defense on your opponent's turn. So that's the Invoker package. I also play 2 Unbreakable. Keep it up with the old traditions of this card being a very good defensive and offensive tool. Lets you draw cards. It's basically another super combo, except you have to pay energy for it. Yeah, I only play 2. This was going to be Realm of the Gods, but Hercule doesn't draw cards if it's Realm of the Gods. So I wanted to be able to draw off of this and that, basically giving a +1 on your opponent's turn. So anything that you can do to do that. The Unison package I play is Baby Juvenile Unison. Really good value card. I only think I only need 3 anyways. Once you have the first one, the second one is just basically always going to be underneath it. The third one is basically a replacement if in case this dies, but you never really need the fourth one. So this generates you a plus 1 every turn, and it also actually it's a plus 2 because if you take off your opponent's battle card, it's a plus 2. His other ability is if all your energy is in rest mode, your leader gains an extra 10 or 1k power. So that's actually significant because when he's in 11k, he's basically a 15k leader because every time you combo a 5 card, so let's say a 15k is going after you, after your leader, you only have to combo one 5k to get out of it. It's the same concept as if he was actually a 15k, where if he was a 15k and a 15k went back to you, you would normally have to combo one card, except he's better because he can replace the combo card that you combo with. So I really think this is a very underlooked red leader, and yeah, you'll see why if you ever decide to play it. Counterplay, I play Videl. It's a counterplay that you can play for free since Yamcha is now officially, or officially at 1. I also play the Yamcha. You need some defensive battle card removal, so you can use this in tandem with the Unison to neg them off the board so that you could pretty much stay safer. Especially when they try to go tall on you. Tall meaning that they play a really big battle cards that have a high power stats. You need something to make them smaller so that you can combo out of their attacks easier. And another bomb I play is the I forgot what they're called, Galactic Explorers. So typically I use this just to make the markers bigger. I haven't actually played this battle card out once, but it's just there so that your unison gets an extra marker. And he is a threat at all times until a certain turn. He's basically, if you guys don't know what he does, he's a triple attacker when he comes out into play, and he negs everything by 30k. And I think that's all it does. Yeah, so he only gains that when he comes out. You can only play, but he only costs 3 red energy, so he's really good, or they're really good. Another defensive tool I play is Topo. A lot of red decks have lost their Yamcha, or not their Yamcha, but their anti-Topo cards. That like, if they, I think Beerus Ball is one, but he's a 20k, so 20k is really hard to stop for most decks. Mostly green is the only deck, or any color that this and blue has ways to deal with Topo. But yeah, Topo is really good still in this today's metagame because it taxes your opponent. It pretty much ends your opponent's turn if they start losing hand size. Another card I like to play is Saiyan Instinct. Saiyan Instinct, when it's in the drop area, you can warp it, and then you draw 2. So with your Hercule leader, if you combo this guy, you basically replace this card, and then this is in your drop, and you draw 2 more. So it's your plus 2, I guess, in a sense. In a sense that it blocks an attack, and then you can actually use it to draw cards deeper in your deck. This leader does have trouble awakening on its own, so I do play 2 Awakening Talent Pans. This allows you to basically take a life every time she attacks, and the cool thing about her is at the end of the turn she goes back to your hand, so in case you want to get another life next turn, you could do that by playing her. She goes up to 15k and she's 1 blue. The other cool thing is she is a blue card so that you could arrival better in case you don't have multicolor. You can combo her and a red card to arrival better. So that's cool about her. The one thing I'm hesitant about is this card, is Feign Greedy, mostly because you want to have these 2 in your drop area to make sure that all your rival seekers live. So the rival seekers are these guys, and they really rely on you having multicolors in your drop area in order for you to make this 0 case. So I would be hesitant about overwhelming just in case, but only use it if you're going to go for the final blow. And the secret rare I decided to play is Vegeta. Really good secret rare. This deck has just a hard time getting rid of the Boo Unison, so I guess you can play this guy to wipe it off. He also ignores barrier on battle cards, so you can take a damage, take crit their life, and also take out their Unison and their barrier battle cards that are really annoying in this game. Yeah, that's my main deck. There's also my Z battle. Pretty standard. I just play these guys. You most likely for the Z battle you're gonna use this guy. Why not? Because this leader itself can like generate a ton of Z energy, just because of the way he's worded. And he's an old leader, so definitely Z battle friendly. So yeah, you guys probably know what he does already. He attacks twice. Second time he gets barrier. Really not much to say about him. 2 energy. I thought about playing the Supreme Showdown stuff, which came out of the World Martial Arts stuff, which is like years and years back. But after doing the math, this guy's actually just better than those two. So I guess they got power crept in some ways because this card actually removes battle cards, and he does the same amount of damage as the Supreme Showdown cards, which is a shame because I really wanted to play on theme with the World Martial Arts stuff, but I guess times have changed now, so we don't need to do that anymore. So we have those guys, and plus they're accessible. He's more accessible than the other guy. Um, and then another card I play is Surmounting the Impossible, only because in case you don't draw the pan, you don't draw the pan to allow you to take the 1 life. Yeah, if you don't draw her, then you have access to him to take 1 life and go down to 4. And 4 is when he becomes a monster essentially. And the 2 cards I didn't play at all were these 2. Cell it comes up, but I prefer to play this guy just because he's less energy cost. But Cell you can actually bring him out because you play multicolor. And then this guy is just barrier removal, but I've never decided to play him. I never needed to play this guy, but he's there for in case I run out of Vegetas in a game, which is going to be pretty rare. Yeah, so that's the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hercule definitely is an underlooked red leader. I advise you guys, or suggest you that you guys play and try out this leader. I think he's actually meta defining, but I'll let you guys decide for that for yourself. All right, peace out, guys.